There was a turning point in my life when I went to Brazil in my early 40s. And I started studying with Inca shaman down in Peru and started working with Native American shaman. And what I discovered was there's some results that I was seeing in this type of work that just wasn't happening anywhere within the Western medical mental health system. In fact, the DSM-4 is full of disorders like tremor disorder, unspecified. They just describe a behavior, but they don't really get to the root of what's taking place. I've been to Brazil 9 times, and I've studied mediumship down there. I've worked with reconnective healing, Yuen method, and matrix energetics, which are the 3 leading trainings in this work in this country. And I've just started working with source work, which is my own synthesis of all these types of work. And I'd like to tell you what that's about and why I'm so excited about it. First of all, each of you has not 1 or 2, but each of you has 3 bodies. And I'd like to tell you about them. The first is your physical body. Now, we're all aware of our physical body, right? Because our physical body is what we know with our 5 senses, our hearing, our sight, our touch, our smell, and our taste. But we also have an emotional body. And I call this a mental emotional body because some of us are more mental. So on this end of the spectrum, you'll have mathematicians who are more mental, maybe artists who are more emotional. But we're all going back and forth. The artist does her taxes. She's more towards the center. The mathematician falls in love. He's more towards the emotions. Our mind, our beliefs, and our emotions are affecting our emotional body all the time. The third body is the energy body, and this is what the indigenous people in Peru, the Aborigines, the Brazilians, all called the luminous body, the light body. Goes back centuries before we had quantum physics to substantiate that this really does exist. Now, quantum physics has shown that quantum comes from the words means small. Physics is the study of the physical universe. So quantum physics looks at the smallest component of the physical universe, which is we look down at atoms, we look deeper into the nucleus of the atom, down to quarks, and beyond that down to photons, where everything is just waves and particles. And in fact, everything is more space than anything else. So this table, if you looked at it under a microscope, would be mostly space with little particles and waves. Well, who cares, right? Well, everyone here should care because you are nothing but particles and waves in space under a microscope. And the exciting thing about this is your energy body is actually more receptive to change, less resistant than your emotional body or your physical body. So when we learn how to work with the energy body, there's all kinds of results that we're finding are possible that working with the physical body and emotional body, we have to work and spend years to get a little change. The physical body is compressed energy. So I've been working with somebody who has compressed discs in their neck, and mechanically you can't do anything with that. It's like cement block. But on an energy level, it's particles and waves in space, and we can actually see progress with these untreatable conditions. The emotional body is patterned energy. So we go into emotional patterns that we repeat throughout our life. And therapy teaches us to become aware of these patterns, to become aware of our stories, but what happens? We go over and over and over the same story. And we become patterned into believing that that story is reality, when in fact it's just our interpretation. We work with the energy body, we're working with all 3 bodies. Let me give you an example. Last month I was bicycling up Old San Jose Road near the summit, and this car comes by me. Meow! They honk their horn really loud for 4 or 5 seconds, and my ears picked up the frequency of that horn and of the anger of the driver, which was palpable. Now, frequency is energy. It's vibration, it's sound. So that frequency went into my energy body, and for a moment I was like this. But I couldn't do anything with that because I was on a narrow shoulder of a road. That energy then transferred into my emotional body, and I became angry. And I became really frustrated, like how dare they, what were they thinking? But I couldn't do anything with the anger. And the next thing went to my physical body, and my neck muscles became tight and stiff. Now this was not a significant event in my day, right? But it affected my physical body, my neck muscles were tight, my emotional body, and my energy body. What I was able to do, because I'm aware of energy, was I was able to make some sounds and clear the vibration, the frequency from my energy body. The anger went away, my neck muscles relaxed. That's only because I know how to work with energy. We're going through events like this throughout our day, throughout our lives, and our energy bodies collect all kinds of static and blockage and other phenomena that affect our emotional body and physical body. Saturday I was working with a woman who had chronic hip problems. Every single person in her family had had hip replacement work. Within an hour of work, her hips had loosened completely. But a bunch of sadness came up because there was some repressed emotion in that family around the pelvis, around sexuality, and that led to the chronic hip issues. What we do is we end up clearing the emotional issues and the physical issues at the same time. If you look at your body as a mechanical apparatus, this sounds impossible. But in fact, if you look at yourself as an energy body, it all begins to make sense. I call this source work, and each of you has a handout in which I describe different phenomena that we all go through, from anxiety to depression, phenomena like forgiveness, physical pain, relationships, the workplace. And all of this will be up on my website, my new website, drdarren.com. It's a fascinating world, and I think you'll find the information on there is a whole new way of looking at your life. And source work is a viable solution to a lot of these phenomena. Thank you.